minerals. Okay, this is a C.K. Williams quarry of eastern Pennsylvania, located on the Chestnut Hill section of eastern, overlooking the Delaware River on Route 611. It was first known as the Scherer mine that mined verdolite, which is a pink dolomitic marble, and it also mined a serpentine and nephrite jade, which were of the green rocks in the 1880s. Later in the 1930s, there was a demand for decorative building material. The mine, now owned by C.K. Williams, produced many decorative minerals up until the 1940s. Later, the abandoned mine was bought by a professor who donated it to Lafayette College in Easton. There are two parts to collect in the quarry. There's the wall where you park your car, and the vegetation is terrible in the summertime, and there's lots of ticks. But the best time to go is in November, December, or January or February. And across the street is the water, where the Delaware Water Gap, the Delaware River is, and there's the water tower, and what you do is you go by the gate where the water tower is, and you kind of go down, hold on to the gate, then there's this big fat tree, hold on to the tree, then there's these roots down on the floor. Now, if you're not built like me, you could walk down the roots. The roots act as a staircase. But if you're like me, you have to sit down and you gotta go shimmy down there on the tush. So anyway, there's lots to be found by the water. But if you're a climber like Michael Dunton, very physically fit, then your best bet to go to the wall, because then you could find more rocks to break it. But anyway, on the wall side there are many radioactive and fluorescent minerals, as well as the basic ones that were mined. On the opposite side along the Delaware River, there is an abundance of easternite, tremolite, mica, serpentine, and in the water during low tide, you can pull out the darker rocks and break them open, and you can reveal the higher grade of the rich, dark apple green easternite. Now, the minerals to be found are quartz, found on tumbled stones, easternite, which is a combination of serpentine and phlogopite. Chrysotite is a white asbestos. It's whiter than the asbestos, whatever I have here, because I have a piece of that, but it's in the tool shed among all the boxes. I couldn't pull it out. Then there's tremolite, which some of it is on the rocks themselves. Tremolite was used for paints and talc. And then Williamsite is a darker serpentine. That's the very hard, dark serpentines that you could find in the rocks that are in the water. Now, I have a lot of those rocks that I purchased from Kerry Mack, because at that time, I didn't know my way around Eastern Quarry. But they're in the tool shed. I should have brought them, but I waited for the last minute, and all I found were these. Anyway, then there's verdolite, is a pink massive dolomite. That's can act as like a marble. You can slab it, cut it, make tiles. And the person that was doing that was Tom Prakar in the Pacer Club. He showed a lot of nice samples of the verdolite. It's pink dolomite. And then he has the nephrite, which is a dark green jade. So those two were found mostly in the 1800s. Now there's thorium, which I don't know much about, thorogumite, pyrite. There's pyrite, there's tiny sprinkles on the walls in the main quarry there. Of course, you gotta climb. Then there's titanite, which Mike Dunton climbs up and gets that. And then magnetite can be found in small particles down by the silt along the Delaware River. Then there's a very hard green stone. It's hard to break. It's bowenite. It's like impossible. This is bowenite, but it's got a nice green color. So a lot of this, now this is a combination of everything. Serpentine, it's got a little talc in it, some, what is that? Tremolite, I'm losing my mind now. Now I'm very disappointed because in my house, this fluoresced pink. I don't know why it didn't fluoresce pink over here. But anyway, some of these are fluorescent. Some of them are, and some of them, a lot of them aren't. Now, let me go on to the new, let me see, how do I do this?
Just hit the arrow key.
How?
The arrow key on the keyboard.
Arrow key on the keyboard.
Yeah.
The arrow key. There was two verdolites that I wanted to look at, and it doesn't.
Right here.
Okay. Pink tremolite, because sometimes the tremolite can fluoresce pink. Oh, you could see that. Am I blocking the way? Oh, okay. All right, these are a bunch of rocks. That's what the Eastern Quarry looks like when the rocks come tumbling down. Now, this is the very dark green serpentine. It's the stuff you find it by the water. I think you could find that more by the water than on the walls. Now that's a typical Easternite. It's got serpentine and phlogopite, mica. Now that's thorium uraninite. Yeah, that's thorium uraninite, which I know nothing about. I'm not into. And that's thoriumite.
Those are the two radioactive things.
Right, right. That you'll talk about that one. And that's thorogumite. That's another one. So they use this for the atomic bombs to blow up countries. Now this is zircon, right? Or take titanite.
That could be a zircon.
That's a zircon. Okay. Now that's the chrysotile. That's what I call Jean Harlow's hair. That's the real asbestos. It looks like tremolite, but it's not. It's asbestos. And I think they use that for paints with the tremolite.
Ooh.
Now that is, well, there was a funny name, Woolsey. Oh, I didn't write it down. Woolsite. It was, I didn't write it down. How do you like that? Well, anyway. Now, there's two pictures that I wanted to show. Actually, it was one. It was just doubled. There was one that didn't download with this, but it downloaded if I look at the list. If I look at my list again. The second one, that's all I want to do. That one. Let's see if that'll take. Yay, it's here. That's it. That's the verdolite. That's what you call dolomite marble. So that's, but you can't find that anymore. That was done in the mine in the 1800s. So Tom Proccar was able to find some pieces of that. And that's it. Help yourself. Look at my pieces. You know, I thought they would fluoresce more. I thought this had a very dark pink fluorescent area.